All right, so welcome to our webinar today. Here today, our topic is why your accent matters and getting your dream job or promotion. And I'm excited about this topic because of a lot of reasons I'll go over today. But this is such a I'm very passionate about this because I've seen what working on your accent and working on your English pronunciation and fluency can do for you in getting that dream job, getting the job that you really want to be and really are qualified to have, and getting that promotion that you're qualified to have. Because I think that it's this taboo situation where employees want to give you the job, they want to give you the promotion, but there is a barrier there. And you remove that barrier of the communication skills and the accent, and it frees you up to be able to do exactly what your employer wants you to do and what you want to be doing. Okay? So let me introduce myself real quick. If you don't know me already, my name is Annie Rudin, and I am a licensed speech pathologist. And what that means basically is that I have spent a lot of time and money and energy learning about communication, about how to effectively communicate, how we can effectively communicate with each other. And so this training and this skill set has helped me. Once I finished my master's degree in communication sciences, I began teaching English pronunciation and fluency. It's not your typical avenue for a speech pathologist, but I liked that corporate setting. I liked the corporate speech pathology is what they call it. But basically being able to help people at the corporate level be able to improve their communication skills so that they can be more effective in their job. And so, typically what my people in my profession do is they work with disordered populations. And I have gone the route of, I don't work with the disordered population. I work with very highly competent, talented, intelligent individuals who have so much to offer in the world, but it's this accent, it's that communication barrier that is getting in their way. And it's something I'm incredibly passionate about. And, you get me started on some of these topics and how working on your English pronunciation and fluency can truly benefit you in your life. And you can't get me to stop talking. So let's go ahead and get going here. Okay, so I want you to really put yourself in this situation. Okay, I want you to just think to yourself: does this sound like me? Does this sound like my situation? So you've spent years and years learning the English language. It's not your first language. You spent years and years learning the English language. You maybe learned English in your native country by someone who has an accent or is considered to have an accent. You're feeling good. You're to the point with your English pronunciation where you're feeling good about your comprehension. You understand what's going on in English. You're feeling good about speaking with familiar listeners. Maybe you and your profession, you feel very comfortable talking about what it is you are an expert in. But you lose all confidence once you're speaking with native English speakers or with unfamiliar listeners or in front of a large group. And maybe even that large group is, 3, 4, 5 or more people. But you get in front of a group and all of a sudden you lose that confidence. Maybe you're frequently in a situation where native English speakers ask you to repeat yourself. You get a lot of, what? Say that again. What was that? Maybe there are communication breakdowns and you're not sure exactly where the breakdown is, or what it is that you're saying that might be incorrect, or why your listener isn't understanding you. You might be in a situation where people treat you differently because of this communication issue. They might treat you like you don't fully understand the topic, or that you're not as competent in the area that you're speaking about. Maybe your coworkers kind of avoid speaking with you because of this communication problem. A lot of, maybe your thoughts and ideas are not given as much attention as you think they should. I mean, you are an expert in your field, but as you're speaking to others, and especially native English speakers, they're not giving you as much attention as you feel like you deserve. Maybe you're in a work setting that you feel that you have so much more to offer than what you're giving, and you hesitate to speak up during groups discussions or meetings because you've had these experiences over and over and over again of people discounting what you say. Maybe you feel that you could do more in a more advanced position, but you don't feel confident in that way that you're able to communicate. And you feel that your communication skills, or simply just your accent, is keeping you from progressing in your career. So I want you to think for a second, did that just describe you? Did anything, if any or all of those things describe you, you're absolutely in the right place, and I guarantee you are not alone. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of people learning the English language all around the world, and not everybody speaks it the same way, especially, they're not going to speak it in the same way. And it all depends on, your learning of the English language. How did you learn it? What was the pronunciation training like? You might learn all of the language and grammar, but what was your pronunciation training like? So like I said, there are hundreds of thousands of people, in your same position, feeling the same frustration. I think it's more acute. This feeling is more acute if you live in the United States, or you're working for an English-speaking company where daily you're reminded that you need to improve your communication skills in order to progress. But there are a lot of people in this situation, and I listen to people every day, and I talk to people every day who feel this same frustration. And, the only difference is that you're here today seeking a solution, whereas they're just waking up each morning wishing that things were different, but not doing anything about it. So good job for you. I'm proud of you for being here today and for taking that first step to overcome what many face, but few really do something about. You're putting yourself in a great position and gaining a very real competitive edge in the marketplace, because you are looking to actively work to improve yourself and overcome a very real problem. And like they say, the first step is always the hardest, right? Getting out, making that first step, and taking that making that first move is always the hardest. And I want you to just really think about that today as we go through this training, of just like, what's keeping me from doing something about this today? What's keeping me from solving this problem today? So today in this webinar, we're going to talk about how you, as a non-native English speaker, can get that dream job or promotion. And I have to start by telling you, I have to start by telling you about an email I got this week and from a past student. And I had heard that this student had gotten a new job with a Fortune 500 company. Cisco is the company that he got a job with, and he's an IT guy with computers. And so I emailed him to congratulate him because I was so excited to hear that he had gotten this position. And here's part of the response that I got from him. He said, "The new job is definitely a huge win for me. The compensation and benefit package are awesome. The part I like the most is the job location is about 20 minutes away from where I live." So you don't even think about that these job opportunities could be a convenience thing too, not only benefits and pay, but convenience. The previous job was very challenging since I needed to spend at least 100 minutes on the road every single workday. So think of how much that improves his quality of life. I know he has 3 young children, and he was away from his children that much more every day in his previous job. So what that means to him, I'm sure, is just fantastic. And then he said, "It is incredibly useful to utilize all the skills I learned from Pronunciation Pro. Honestly, I am still working at it on a daily basis and feel strongly that I'm getting better and better." And I like the way he puts that because, with the Pronunciation Pro training program, it gives you a solid foundation, and you make incredible progress through the 12-week course. But it's a lifelong process, but he has that basis, he has that understanding, he knows where to go from there, and he can continue to improve and progress day by day. And this was a student that I worked with last summer, I guess it was. Last summer we worked together, and so I'm so glad to hear that he is still using the skills that he learned, still practicing the skills that he learned, and refining that skill set as he goes along, because it really does give you that foundation, that basis to keep improving. So as a teacher, you can imagine that kind of feedback feels so good to hear. And it's just incredible to hear about the success of past students, and that they're having that success in their career, and how going through our accent reduction training program has really helped them and benefited them as they've continued on. So let's take a step back and answer the question, why does your accent matter? Why does it matter? In a perfect world, we would all be able to understand each other completely, no matter the dialect, no matter the accent, no matter what's going on. English has become this universal language, but at the same time, we all need to be using the kind of English that is understood by others, understood by everyone. So let me ask you this. We're going to do a little exercise here. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where you are listening to someone who is speaking your same language, but with a very strong accent that you're having a hard time understanding? So think of your situation. Have you ever been in that situation? Maybe it was in your mother tongue, or maybe it was in English, but they're speaking and you just can't understand them, even though you're very fluent in that language. So how did it make you feel? How did you view them in that situation? How long did you last in the conversation? Is it something that you wanted to continue talking about, or were you anxious to end the conversation? Did it cause any problems in any way? Was there a communication breakdown where something happened where you thought they meant one thing and it was really another? So I was recently talking to another student who works with native English speaking clients on a daily basis, and he frequently has conference calls with people from all over the United States. He's from India and is working on his own English pronunciation and fluency. So he's going through the program. And he told me that he frequently has to talk to people from the southern parts of the United States. So as you probably know, English speakers from different parts of the US have their own kind of accent. And this is probably similar to your own country, where you go to different parts of the country and you're going to get different dialects. So in our training course, we teach the standard American English accent, which is considered to be the most understood accent for English speakers. But if you go around the whole country, there are many variations throughout the US. But really, everybody understands the standard American English accent, and that's because it's the accent that is on television for the most part, on news broadcasts, and so people have they're very familiar with that kind of English accent. So this student was telling me that he was having a very difficult time understanding his clients from the South because of their accent. And it was making him very frustrated, and he wasn't sure exactly how to handle it. So I gave him my thoughts and ideas on, strategies that I use when I'm speaking with somebody with a strong accent, and kind of some ideas that he could use. But I thought it was a great experience for him so that he could understand what others might be feeling about his accent, and given that insight to, when that communication barrier is there, what problems does it cause? And it really did help to motivate him to work harder on his own accent so he could be better understood, so that he wasn't causing that problem. The problem wasn't coming, from his side, but that he could be the one that was nice and clear in his English. So, putting yourself in other people's shoes, I want you to just really think about that. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Put yourself in your coworkers' position. Maybe you have native English speaking coworkers. Maybe your boss. Put yourself in their shoes. If you had an employee, so you're the boss here, you had an employee that others could not understand well, would you put them in leadership or management positions? What would you do in that situation? Would you think, oh no, there's this communication barrier, he's having a hard time, the other employees are really, struggle to kind of understand what he's saying, but oh well, he deserves this position. Well, the answer is no. You have to have the skill set necessary for the position in order to qualify for it. So just like you wouldn't trust an electrician to fix your teeth because they don't have that skill set, you have to qualify for a job. You can't qualify for a job without the skill sets necessary for that job. And really what it comes down to is that as you're in a company and you're working in a company, as you get higher and higher up in a company, there are more leadership positions. There's more management opportunities. For the most part, you really have to communicate. It's a necessary skill set. And the more effective you are in your communication, the better you're going to be at that job. So, whether you're looking to get a great job or a promotion, the number one skill set that employees are looking for, whether you're a native English speaker or not. So, whether English is your first language or your, a second language, employers are looking for the same thing, and that is communication skills, effective communication skills. So, as I was preparing this webinar, I was just thinking, okay, I did a quick Google search and just said skills employers want. And the first thing that came up, I clicked on it, and it had some bullet points of what employers want. What was there at the top of the list? Effective communication skills. Okay, effective communication skills. And with that, it had a quote that said, let's see, did I write that? That said, in today's workplace, Communication is the skill of utmost importance, says Charlie Polacki, co-founder and partner at Polacki Access Executive Search. He said, you must have communication skills that allow you to succinctly and effectively contribute your thoughts. Polacki said, an effective communicator leaves no room for error and can exhibit thoughts in a direct manner. Okay, I thought that was very strong language in terms of how important your communication skills are when getting a job and when being promoted in your job. Okay, so, companies and employees, they need people who are going to communicate effectively. It is essential. They need, and really here's the part about it, is that they need your intelligence and your expertise. But in order for them to put you in those positions where you can really maximize your potential, you have to develop the skill set that they so desperately need you to have. So it's really, like I said before, it's this taboo thing where these employers, they see that you're talented, they see that you have all these wonderful qualities, but if those communication skills aren't there, their hands are tied. They really can't do much about it. And communication training programs are a really big business. There are many ways to improve your communication skills. So let's take accent training off the table and just say, okay, what other skill sets in communication do we need to have? Well, there's persuasive language. You being able to use persuasive language in a way to motivate people and to unify a group. There's developing trust with your audience, trust and rapport with your audience. There's delivering content quickly and to the point. So I'm sure a lot of you have been in the situation where you really have to, you don't have a lot of time to develop these elaborate speeches or communication. It's quick. You need to deliver your point. You need to talk about it quickly, get to the point, and be done. You need well-organized presentations that your audience will easily follow. These things are all part of these communication skills that are important to have. And these are important, skill sets to practice. But for you as a non-native English speaker, the very first place to start is with your accent. Because no matter how you arrange your words or how much you practice using direct and powerful language and vocabulary, if your pronunciation and fluency is off, it will be worthless. And, that sounds awful, but it's true. You want people to be listening to what you're saying and not how you're saying it. So, you have to ask, is it possible to change your accent? And will you be able to sound more clear and natural in your American English? And the answer is absolutely 100% yes. It's not this, this ambiguous idea out there. It's not this, oh, that would be nice if only it existed type of idea. It's a very real skill set that can be developed. Just like learning English, you can learn to develop clear and accurate pronunciation, and that communication skill that will get you to where you need to go in your career. It's very possible, and honestly, I just see it every single day. I'm working with people every single day who is working to build up their skills and their English pronunciation and reducing that accent and being able to be clearly understood. And really, it doesn't take as much time as you think. We do a 12-week course, which gives you the complete foundation of what you need to use to be able to build off of. The first 6 weeks are, focused on very specific skill sets, and the last 6 weeks are practicing and refining and helping you use those skill sets. So let's talk about, in this 12 weeks, what can you expect? And I know some of you are currently in the program, and so you know that this is something you do. I hope that a webinar like this is helping motivate you, because it, like I said, it does take work, it does take effort, and it's not just a matter of popping a magic pill and all of a sudden you are, a clear and effective communicator. It does take time, it does take practice, and it takes the right kind of program. And we have the right kind of program, so it just, and we guarantee that, but following through on it does take work on your part. So let's talk about, you learn this in this 12 weeks, what can you expect from this program? You're learning a new skill set, okay? Just like learning to play the piano, learning to ride a bike, learning to play a specific sport. The English sounds and rhythm, you have to learn those English sounds and rhythm to be able to be, this is the skill set that we're learning. We learn the English sounds, we learn the English rhythm. That's how we reduce a foreign accent. Okay. What else? Train your ear to hear what native English speakers, what native English speakers hear and what they are using. So it's really, you're training your ear, you're training yourself to hear those differences, which is a huge part of this program. And it takes time and takes practice, and that's how the videos are really set up for you to be able to do that. You learn to speak in a way that others will easily understand you, and that's the part with learning the sounds, learning the rhythm, especially the rhythm of English, is that what are those skill sets that are going to really help your listener understand? You learn how to correct yourself. You learn how to correct yourself when you make a mistake, because, you're not going to come out of this program and never make a mistake again. That's part of the process. You learn and grow and improve. But the difference is that you will know how to correct yourself. You'll know why there was a misunderstanding. And because of the foundation that you've built through this program. And my favorite thing to talk about, confidence. You will gain greater confidence in your spoken English. And it's my favorite thing to talk about, because it's the thing that I think most people in your situation are hoping for and want more than anything, is to feel more confident. So let's talk about confidence here for a little bit. So what comes from confidence? Why is confidence such an important part of this, of the results that you get here? And, as you build a skill set, and I like to compare it to, say you're a basketball player and you go into a basketball game without having practiced or without having developed the skill sets of shooting, dribbling, passing, all these things. If you haven't practiced, how confident are you going to be at game time? Versus the alternative, you have been practicing for weeks and months building up to the big game, and you've practiced over and over your shooting, your dribbling, your passing, and so by the time that the game time comes, you're going to go into that game pretty darn confident in your ability to do what it takes to win that game. And the same thing comes from this program. It takes 3 months And within that 3 months, there's some time required there. But as you follow through with the course, do what's expected there in the course, it will bring you the confidence that you need to win that game or get that job or get that promotion. And, so let's talk about confidence. What does confidence, as we're building confidence in your spoken English through this program, what does it lead to? It leads to you speaking up more in meetings, having the confidence to speak up, having the confidence to easily share your thoughts and ideas and know that people are going to understand you and they're going to take you seriously. You're going to take more risks. You're going to be more social and have more positive social interactions. Develop more meaningful relationships because there isn't that communication barrier there anymore. You'll be more outgoing and able to be yourself. There's nothing worse than trying to communicate your personality if you don't have the skill set of that communication. And you'll feel more qualified to go for that dream job or promotion because you will have the skill set necessary that your employer wants. So it just brings an enormous amount of confidence. So, let me be clear on this, that this is not a magic pill. It's not the results that can bring such, let's see, a program or a promise that can bring such incredible benefits doesn't happen without effort. And anything truly worthwhile, in my opinion, and what I've seen in my life and others, is anything truly worthwhile takes time and effort. And, you know this. You've gone through the process of learning English, and I know you've worked hard to get where you are today. So what's that next step? What needs to happen for you to continue to progress? And again, there's no substitute for hard work. There absolutely isn't. And the combination, having the right program that can guarantee you results when you put in the work, is going to get you there. Another quote that I like, even the greatest was once a beginner. So don't be afraid to take that first step. So even the greatest was a beginner. Don't be afraid to take that first step. So it really comes down to that, is that you gotta start taking those first steps. And some of you have already taken those first steps, and I'm really incredibly proud of you for doing what you're doing. And I encourage you to practice more, to do, try and push yourself even a little bit more as you're going through the program, and be more consistent in your daily practice so that you can make even greater progress. So let's talk about, the programs that we offer, and what you can get with this program. So with this program, like I said, if you follow through with the lessons and assignments and homework and reach out to us when you have questions, I always guarantee at least 50% improvement in your spoken English. And there's a little, asterisk next to this, because with our programs, you really have to have a baseline test before, and then a baseline test afterward, and then a final evaluation after the fact, to be able to compare and see, did I make 50% improvement? And with our basic package, we don't offer the full initial assessment. So it's hard to gauge that with the basic course, but if you want to do the initial assessment with the basic course, then we can definitely, follow through on that guarantee and have measurable results from that, on that guarantee. So, with this training program, we've offered different packages. If you haven't signed up already, if you're not going through the course already, let me give you just a brief explanation here. The video training program is a 12-week program There are 35 or more video training lessons for about 20 hours each. You get a lesson, get 1 to 4 lessons a week for the 12-week duration of the 12-week program. And these all include worksheets and MP3s and practice materials and resources. You get access to webinars. These webinars, you have a year's membership to the website with this, so you can access all these materials as needed. We do offer a 14-day money-back guarantee on all of our packages. So it gives you the chance to get started and without that risk of, oh man, I won't want to click buy now unless I'm really sure this is what you're doing. So give it a try for 2 weeks. See how you're feeling about it. All of our packages include unlimited email contact with your trainer. So take advantage of that. That's a huge benefit to just being able to ask questions. So the difference between these packages, the basic gives you all of those things that we mentioned. The plus then, and to me, you are absolutely not going to find anything like this for this price. Because with the plus package, you get everything that I just mentioned. Plus, you get a personalized accent assessment at the beginning of your course, which completely maps out your what you're doing specifically in your accent. The other thing that you get is weekly feedback on your assignments from your trainer. So every week of the 12-week course, you completed an assignment, you record yourself doing the assignment, and then your trainer gives you feedback. And I've just seen this to be incredibly effective, and seen a huge amount of progress in my students, and I'm just so proud of them. And plus, it gives you the accountability, someone that you have to send your assignments to and make sure you're doing the assignments week to week. So it's a great program at a fantastic price. We actually should have it higher, but I want to give it to you we really want to give it to you for a manageable price, basically as low as we possibly can, and still maintain the quality of trainers that we have. And then our Premier package, the difference between that one is that you get live training, and there's a huge jump in price there, and that's because we do have to, live trainings do require much more of our trainers, and as far as scheduling and things like that, but they do a fantastic job, and I'm a trainer as well. I still actively train our students frequently. I'm taking on clients, but if it's not me, it's somebody that has just the same skill sets as I do and does as good of a job as I will do for you. So those live trainings are through Cisco WebEx and are just fantastic. So this is these are our programs. We have some additional offerings that you can look at our website. If there's something that you're interested in or you have questions about, give us send me an email. See if we can, adapt the program a little bit for you. These are the packages that we offer, but we can add things. We can make some adjustments as needed. So give us definitely contact us. And this is, I want to really just be able to, going back to our subject today, why your accent matters, and how can you get that dream job and promotion. And I want you to just really think about it, be honest with yourself, and think, okay, is this a problem in my life? I would assume it is if you are here and you're actively searching for some answers. And if you haven't already taken the first step and are part of the program, I encourage you to take that first step today. there's that, what is that Chinese proverb that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. I like that one, because, time is going to pass, whether you do something about it or not, and you could put yourself in a much better situation if you go ahead and take that first step today. And it does, you have to make an investment. You have to put the time, money, and effort into it. But I can guarantee you're going to get the best training here with the highest quality trainers, the best price, and we guarantee that you'll be successful. So if you would like to contact me, if you have any other questions, I'm going to stay on the line and answer questions as needed. And I encourage you to stick around and ask questions. I think my webinar audience is always so shy, and I attribute that to probably that confidence issue, is that you might not feel as confident in speaking up and expressing your thoughts. And I encourage you to muster up the courage and ask some questions. So I can take you off of the speaker, or we can do questions in the question box. So anyway, thank you for coming. I'll stick around for questions, but thank you so much for coming, and I hope all the best for you in your life and your career. And I hope I can be part of it, part of that progress and that journey for you. Thank you.